Hey everyone. So, as promised, I am here with my holiday bird and doing the prep that I promised. And that is, I'm going to pop this bad boy into, into a paper bag. Doesn't say if it's a tom turkey or a hen. I'm assuming it's a boy. It's kind of big. I bought my turkey when they had the 39 cents per pound sale going on. Over at the Shaw's. If you spent 25 bucks, you get your turkey for 39 cents a pound. What's not to like about that? Right. So, that's what I did. How hard is it to spend 25 bucks at the grocery store? Nope, not hard these days. Package of toilet paper will do it. Alright. So the next step is going to be pulling all the innards out. Gotta unhook your legs so that they're free and you've got a big cavity you can work with. It's still a little partially frozen inside, which is good. That's what I want. I like to put my turkey from the bag, from the package into the bag, partially frozen, because it keeps it nice and moist. Now, typically I throw away the innards. I know. But this year, I'm going to try something different. Right. And I am not stuffing my turkey. Obviously, Madison and I stopped eating stuffing a really long time ago for Thanksgiving. Like, this is our third one. It's better to not eat the bread for us. You do you. We're not eating bread. We're going to be eating keto cornbread later with our dinner, but not regular bread. I like keto cornbread better. It's a little more southern, and I'm not southern, but who doesn't love good cornbread, right? And Madison loves cornbread. So that's my compromising answer. We're going to melt some butter, because this thing's going to get basted to the bones. It's going to be basted within an inch of its life. I'm going to use a whole stick of butter. And get it melted. And first we're going to baste the turkey with all the butter. We also want to make sure that, like, the skin is clear of any debris. You want to pull off any leftover bits that maybe they didn't take all of the feather things out. You know, sometimes like this, they pull the feathers, but they leave this little gem behind. It's hard to see. There you go. Those are disgusting. Alright, this looks pretty good. Looks like they did a good job cleaning this bird. And I give it just a quick rinse inside. Don't worry, I'm going to wipe everything down with thieves after I'm done cross-contaminating everything. I'm cleaner in the kitchen than people think. They watch my videos, they're like, what the hell is she doing? Alright. We're melting our butter. While that's happening, you're also going to want to get your pan. My standard turkey roasting pan. And a paper bag. I don't know as though this paper bag's going to fit. I do have a bigger paper bag, I know. So I have a nice big bag here, and that will be more than enough to hold my turkey. My butter is melting, and it's got a little bit of a brown color to it, which is nice because it's going to be like brown butter, which is really gives it a whole different dimension of flavor. This is ready. So we're going to lay a pot holder on the counter so we don't burn the counter, or a trivet if you have one. Right. And then just get to basting. Now, because we're basting the turkey ahead of time, ahead of putting it in the oven, this is going to baste up nicely all on its own. You're going to have some beautiful brown skin. You're going to have nice crispy skin. And you don't have to mess with this again. That's the point of using this whole process, is to set it and forget it. And that's fine by me, because when you are working with a kid like Madison for the day and you are having a 5-hour cooking time for your turkey, the last thing you want to do is be in the kitchen messing with your bird every hour or half hour or whatever. And not only that, but how many times do we use a turkey baster? Once a year, right? Maybe twice if you do some other kind of cooking. And how often do you go into your kitchen and you find that the turkey baster isn't working? With me, it was practically every time. And the stores are closed today, so unless Cumberland Farms or your local convenience store has a supply of these on hand, chances are they don't, you're screwed. And this is a good way to overcome that, is do some homework ahead of time. And it's not hard. Okay, so we have basted every single portion of this turkey that we want to have basted. All the wings, under the legs, and the thighs. I have the bird sitting in the sink still in its packaging on a plate so that I can do this safely. Alright. And then we're just going to pour the rest of it over. So now as the warm butter hits the cold bird, it will congeal, which is what you want. You want it to kind of stay there until it's time to sort of do its thing. This is a messy job. If you don't like the feeling of this on your hands, get some gloves and wear them. I have gloves, but I'm okay with this. Alright, now you put your paper bag in the pan, like so. I'm going to tuck it in so it's actually all the way in. The most important thing is to make sure the bottom part of your bag, the two corners in the bottom, are tucked down into your pan. Now we're going to season it. Heavily with salt. Madison and I are both salt people, so. And some pepper. You can also, if you're really, like, you know, wanting to impress your guests, you can lift the skin of your bird so that it's loose away from the bird and tuck all of your butter and your seasonings in there. I like the skin to be seasoned, so we're going to do that. Fresh cracked pepper. Once you get it in the paper bag, you're not going to be able to really do much with it. It'll be hard to maneuver. So you're better off getting as much done before you get it in the bag as you possibly can. That's my recommendation. Okay. Now, and I'll tell you a funny little story. One year I decided I was going to do something different and surprise my grandmother. She entrusted me with the making of the holiday turkey, the holiday meal. And I had taken the turkey home to prep it. She's like, yeah, take it home, prep it. Well, I decided without talking to her that I was going to do a teriyaki. Oh my God. You would think I had committed a cardinal sin. In her world I did. Because she was Marion of Marion's Pie Shop right here in South Chatham, and that you just don't do things like that to Marion of Marion's Pie Shop of South Chatham without having a conversation with her first, which I thoroughly neglected. Oh my God. I thought I was going to have World War III on my hands. Oh. And it wasn't that I was being mavericky that upset her the most. It was the fact that I had done it without talking to her. And I'm like, well, I didn't see why I had to talk to you. I know how to teriyaki a chicken or a turkey. What's the big deal? She said, because I would have changed the sides to go with it. So, I was expecting a traditional turkey, and I made traditional sides. If you wanted teriyaki turkey, we would have had teriyaki turkey-based sides, Valerie. Well, it didn't go well. It just didn't go well at all. Oh, well. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I'm going to be an old lady in a rocking chair talking about that one. So, there you go. I'm not getting all extravagant with the spices because Madison. So, I just did the basics. I did a little paprika on the skin so it has a nice color. A little garlic powder, a little onion powder, salt and pepper. And really, if you've got a good bird, that's all you need. If you like sage, you can always add your seasonings to the other dishes. So now we're going to not so delicately put our hands in the turkey, and we're gonna move it so that you can hopefully see it. Look at the mess. Madison was awake in the middle of the night insisting on bacon. So I had a 3 a.m. wake up bacon call to answer. Alright, so here's my pan all prepped. I'm gonna adjust this so maybe you can see. No. There we go. Okay. So I'm picking up the bird and I'm going to put it in a pan. So this has to be done with as much one-handedness as possible if you're by yourself. I end up sticking my whole arm in there if it's anything over 15 pounds. Alright. In. It's in. It's in sideways. There we go. So you want to make sure all of the bird is tucked in the pan on the sides, and it is. Now you've got this hole. You're like, all right, Valerie, now we have this hole, now what? Hang on. Let me handle the raw turkey mess in the bottom of the sink, and I'll show you. Because I want to wash my hands for the next steps. Alright. And my arm. Sometimes cooking is not a delicate process. I grew up watching Julia Childs, and she used to manhandle everything, so that's okay. She was hilarious. One of the greatest cooks of all times. Her, Jacques Pepin, Emerald. They all started on PBS. And then they got together and started the Food Network. So, that was pretty crazy, huh? Bobby Flay and Rachel Ray were some of the original chefs on the Food Network. I know my cook history. Alright. So now the hands are clean. We're going to grab the stapler. And I have just your basic office supply stapler. And you want to have just, hopefully you've got enough room in your bag. If not, you might need a bigger bag. To fold the ends and staple them shut. But Valerie, if you staple it shut, how are you going to know when it's done? Sometimes I tuck, but I don't have enough room in this bag. It's a bigger turkey than I normally get, to be perfectly honest. But like I said, when I got the 39-cent per pound turkey, I got what they had. And I got the smallest turkey that they had at 20 pounds. They went up from there. Alright. So you're going to keep an eye on the time. And for that, all you do is set a timer. Either in your phone or on your stove. And the oven is ready. And in it goes. So, questions that typically get asked when they see this. Aren't you worried about the paper bag burning? No, because the turkey inside creates a steam. And in doing that, it keeps the bag from getting dried out and catching fire. I have yet to have an oven fire from this situation ever. So I'm okay with that. Some of the other questions are, how do you know when it's done? You can take a meat thermometer and stick it through the paper bag, and one little hole towards the end of your cooking time isn't going to matter. You can undo the staples and take a quick lookie and then just tuck it back in. See if the pop-up timer's popped up. I have had birds where that's defective. So you want to keep an eye on that. And it will cook a little bit faster being in the bag because it's creating its own steam chamber. So you can shave off some of your time. For a 20-pound turkey, it would be 5 hours, 6.5 hours. Because you go 20 minutes per pound on a traditional cooking time for a turkey without all the accoutrements of what I just did. So 20 minutes per pound, that's 3 pounds an hour. You divide the total weight of your turkey, which is 20 pounds, by 3. And that's 6. 6 hours and 40 minutes is the cooking time. But because we're having it in a bag, and we're going to leave it in its little own steam chamber until the end, I'm going to check it at 5 hours and see if I've caught the cooking time in that time. If not, I will tuck the corners back in and let it ride for another half hour and check it again. It shouldn't need, you should be able, on a bird this size, to be able to take almost an hour off the cooking time. So that's it. That's my turkey prep from start to finish, 15 minutes. What's not to love about that? And you don't have to mess with it again. You're done until it's time to check it at the end of your cooking time. So what do you do with yourself in the meantime? You've got all this free time now that you didn't plan on having. Well, I'm going to be making coffee shortly, and breakfast for the boy, who's just getting up. And will commandeer my phone shortly. I am gonna melt a little more butter again in a clean pan. This is filthy. And I am going to do a quick pan fry on the gizzards. Yep, you heard me right. With some salt and some pepper. Madison had his way. I'd be dredging these bad boys in pork rinds and putting them in the air fryer. Because he eats them like chicken nuggets that way. But I'm going to do this for myself. This is the closest I come to eating organ meats, by the way. I am not a huge fan of the organ meat. I have to hide the liver. I have to, cook the chicken livers like chicken nuggets to get them down. They're not bad, actually, as chicken nuggets. My son loves them as chicken nuggets, so. And again, it's just the two of us here, so I'm not going to bother with that. So that's it. There you go. I will post a picture when it's ready so you can see the end result. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving and you get to be with the people that matter most. I know how blessed and lucky I am that Madison is here with me, because it could very easily have not gone that way. And that would have broken my heart. The springtime was rough because it was Mother's Day that we missed, my birthday that we missed, all of my holidays. I'm grateful that I got to see Madison on his birthday and Thanksgiving and looking ahead for Christmas. So it's awesome that that I have that, and I'm very aware of it. And I'm very aware that there are people whose families are spread out all over the country, and they will not get to see all of their favorite loved ones for the season, and I'm sorry for that. That's truly heartbreaking. And I hope you have some awesome, fun Zoom video dinner calls and have lots of wine. So, I did desserts yesterday. I did mini pumpkin cheese cakes. I can show you those. I did some prepping for sides. We're going to have bacon wrapped asparagus, since Madison did not eat all of the bacon, but he tried. So this just needs to be unmolded. And it is so good and creamy. So there you go. Have a great holiday. Enjoy. Peace. Keep your carbs low and your nutrients high.